Hello everybody and welcome back. We're looking at question 2 on the 2017 Hypatia contest. Once again, I'd like to remind you, if you'd like a copy of this contest, click the very first link in the description and you will be able to download a copy for yourself. Question 2. A list of integers is written in a table, row after row, from left to right. Row 1 has the integer 1, row 2 has 1, 2, 3, row 3 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Row n has the consecutive integers beginning at 1 and ending at the nth odd number, but it doesn't just contain odd numbers. It's just the nth odd number that we end at. Okay. In the table, the ninth integer to be written is 5. 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And it appears at the end of row 3. In general, after having completed n rows, a total of n squared integers have been written. That feels like the sort of thing that we should be having to work out and justify for ourselves, but okay. So at the So I guess the n squared integer to be written is the one at the very end of the nth row. All right. So we got 4 parts to this question. Part A: what is the 25th integer written in the table, and in what row does the 25th integer appear? So to figure out what row number we appear in. I'd probably make the observation here that there's my pen. Come back to me, pen. There we go. All right, so I'd make the observation that number x or not number x, but the xth number to be written lies in row n, where n minus 1 squared is definitely less than x, but that's less than or equal to n squared. So if I hand you a number, say 17, you know 17 is more than 16, but less than or equal to the next perfect square, 25. So square root of 25 is 5. So the 17th number, not the number 17 itself, but the 17th number will be written in the 5th row. Once we know what row it is, we can actually figure out which number it should be, actually. Indeed, once we know n, because the numbers go 1, 2, 3, 4, it's just the first few numbers, we can see the xth number written is x minus n minus 1 squared. And it's written in the nth row. So this is a nice quick observation. I don't feel like it particularly needs to get justified, but I'd probably just write an example, really. But this is going to let us answer question A and probably a couple other things. So we understand the chart completely once we have this observation. You tell me you want 7, the number 7 in the 10th row. I can reverse engineer this to tell you what number that is. You tell me you want the 17th number. I can tell you, okay, it's going to be in row 5, and it's the number 17 minus 16, so it's 1. So it's that first 1 in row 5. Okay, so we can sort of use this process to understand that completely. Okay. Actually, I'll make that observation in case we need it, because it's a very quick observation. Reversing this process, we see the digit k in row n is the k plus n minus 1 squared number. So the 7 in row 10 is the 7 plus 9 squared, so 81. So it's the 88th number written, for example. Assuming that there is a 7 in row 10. All right, and there will be. But, so A, what's the 25th integer written in the table? So 25th integer, n is going to be equal to 5, because 25 is greater than 4 squared, but less than or equal to 5 squared. And it is a 25 minus 16, 9. Therefore, it is a 9. Specifically, it's the 9 at the very end of the 5th row. Okay. So that's a light bulb question. All we needed was the 9, but we have the whole underlying theory of the whole chart here. Okay, B part. What is the 100th integer written in the table? This is another perfect square, so this isn't really helping us a whole, or isn't really challenging us a whole lot, but 100th integer. N is going to be 10. Why is that? Because 9 squared is less than 100, but 100 is less than or equal to 10 squared. And it is a 100, because that's the number we're given, minus 9 squared. So it's going to be 100 minus 81. It's going to be a 19. So A and B, we knocked them off easily because we understand how the chart is put together. All right. So C part, this one's written. So is D part. What is the 2017th integer written in the table? Well, I've already written down and explained how the rows and tables work. Maybe another sentence or two of justifying would be something you'd want, but I'm happy with it. So when x is 2017, well, the square root of 2017 is, well, what is it? Let's grab our calculator. So square root 2017, it's about 44.9. So 44 squared is less than 2017, but this is less than or equal to 45 squared, which is 2025. The real quick way to do that is if you have sort of a5 and you want to square it, it's just a times a plus 1, that followed by a 20, whoa, hiccups there, followed by a 25. So 4 times 5 is 20, followed by a 25, 20, 25. If you want 25 squared, 2 times 3 is 6, 6 followed by a 25. So that's a nice quick way to remember how to do that. It's a nice little mental trick. So n equals 45. 2017 is in the 45th row. Now this isn't what they asked me for. And it is a 2017 minus 44 squared is 2017 minus, what is 44 squared? 1936. So it's going to be an 81. But thanks to my earlier comments, all this stuff here, and yes, I would write all this stuff. I mean, it doesn't have to be written specifically at C part, but you got to reference, because of what I wrote, the X numbers becomes this, and the, if you want the K in row N, it becomes this number. Understanding the chart, and then C is a joke. There's nothing to do here. D part. In how many of the first 200 rows does the integer 96 appear? Ooh, okay, now that's a little different. My theory of the chart doesn't really help here. Now, if you said what is the 96 in row 200 is the X digit written, what is X, then yeah, my theory would help. But what are we to do here? So I'd start off by saying something like, since the numbers in each successive row increasing. We got 1 in the first row, then we got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the next one. Once 96 appears in row N, then it appears in every row after. Okay? So this changes the problem. Now I just need to figure out that first row that it appears and then say, okay, from that row, say it's the 10th row. 10th row, 200th row, how many rows are there? That's the number of times 96 will appear. Okay, 96 only ever appears once. If it appears in a row, it appears once, and that's probably something we should write down as well. 96, like all numbers, appears in a row once or not at all. So we just need to count up the rows is the conclusion from there. So 96, what is the first row that it appears in? The row before 96 appears ends in 95. Do I have to justify this? Nah, I don't really think so. Every odd number is the end of a row. The next odd number before 96 is 95. So it'll be row n minus 1. It'll go 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 95. And then row n will go 1, 2, 3, 95, 96, 97. And then, just for good measure, we'll include this one here as well. 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, and so on. So here are my 96s appearing. The question is, when does this happen? So 95, so notice that row n, actually we'll use a different letter. Row m ends in 2m minus 1. I would say this is clear from the chart, but you could probably show this a little better if you wanted to. It is 2m minus 1, right? Row 1, 2 times 1 minus 1 is 1. Row 2, 2 times 2 minus 1 is 3. Yeah, okay. All right. So row n minus 1, which ends in 95, 95 is 2 times n minus 1 minus 1. So that's 2n minus 3. 98 is 2n. N is 49. 96 appears in rows 49, 50, 51, all the way up to 200. So how many rows is that? Okay. I really hate flipping the page for just a simple calculation, but this is 200 minus, so the number the row you want to end with minus the row you start with plus 1 to include. Because 200 minus 49 is how many rows after 49 up to and including 100, but you've left off 49 itself. So we have to include that. So this is going to be 200 minus 50 plus 2, just shifting things around. So that'll be 150 plus 2. It's going to be 152. And maybe we'll put a little therefore statement. 96 appears in 152 rows. And that is what we were asked for, right? In how many of the first 200 rows does an integer 96 appear? There you go, 152. Not a bad question. I think they were, I think A and B were really easy, and C, I don't think it's that hard to see the pattern for 2. D was interesting. I liked D part there, but I still think the question 2 here is a little easy. Sort of spoon-feeding us some answers. But maybe I just haven't too practiced at these things. But we look forward to question number 3. At least I certainly am. And I will see you guys for question number 3 in the next video. So until then, take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.